I have arrived at the Karlsplatz U-Bahn station in Vienna, Austria. There's a fantastic set of railroad station buildings designed by the Secession architect Otto Wagner atop the U-Bahn station. While Wagner designed many purpose-built U-Bahn stations across Vienna that generally look the same, these two are unique. They are composed of a steel framework with marble slabs on the exterior, and of course lots of decorative elements. This one now houses an exhibition space about Wagner, but it's not open right now. And the other one is a cafe. Here is the Karlsplatz, graced by the magnificent Karlskirche. I discuss a bit of the history of this Baroque church in a different video that is linked in the description. This is the Wien Museum on the Karlsplatz, which is currently closed as part of an extensive renovation. I will want to visit it when it does reopen, because they just procured a giant whale that used to be atop a restaurant at the Prater. That's the Albertina Moderne, a new branch of the Albertina that just opened in 2020. It showcases art since the 50s, but I didn't have a chance to visit. Here is the French Embassy, a fantastic example of Art Nouveau architecture. It was designed by a Parisian architect in 1901 and claims to be the only embassy in the world built in the Art Nouveau style. Another interesting structure on the Schwarzenbergplatz is the Haus der Industrie. This wonderful structure, designed by Karl Koenig, was built between 1906 and 1909. I believe it's primarily used for events and classical music concerts nowadays. I was able to get a sneak peek inside and ride the Paternoster lift. Yes, the Haus der Industrie has one of the 3 working Paternosters in Vienna. Paternoster lifts are an ancient type of elevator that moves on a non-stop loop with open boxes, so you can just hop on and hop off at the different floors. The earliest version of the Paternoster was patented in 1877, and they were a fairly commonplace type of elevator in Europe and even in America and other places during the early 20th century. However, they are quite rare to find now in working order, as the overwhelming majority of them have been replaced. There obviously can be some safety issues with these. I have never seen or gone to take a ride on a Paternoster before, so this is really awesome.
Yeah.
We're now at the top of the lift, so we're gonna switch sides.
I'm not sure. Okay, so now we're going up the lift and it's going to go back over.
That's pretty awesome.
If you want to go another round, you can do that too.
There is a slightly larger Paternoster that still works in Vienna's Rathaus, which I also found and feature in a separate video. Alright, I'm gonna hop off here. You do have to time it right, otherwise you could hurt yourself or trip. Oops, wrong floor. Wow, what an amazing experience to ride a Paternoster. The centerpiece of the Schwarzenbergplatz is the Soviet War Memorial. The Soviets did capture Vienna from the Nazis during World War II on April 14, 1945, after a bloody offensive. Stalin prioritized Vienna so that the city would be a good bargaining chip with the Allies after the war. In the end, about 17,000 soldiers of the Red Army were killed in the Vienna offensive, so the Soviets rapidly built this monument to honor them. After the war, Vienna was separated into 4 occupation zones, similar to cities like Berlin. The Soviets got this section and immediately decided to build this monument on a prominent location, directly in front of the Palais Schwarzenberg, which it essentially blocks now from this side. The Heroes Monument of the Red Army was unveiled in August of 1945, just 3 months after they got to Vienna. The colonnade encloses a 12-meter tall monument topped by a Soviet soldier holding a golden shield and flag. The monument was built by German prisoners of war. The wall behind the Soviet monument is now painted in the colors of the flag of Ukraine. Also, Vladimir Putin actually laid flowers at this memorial in 2007 to thank Austria for maintaining the memorial. There is also a colossal 1873 fountain out front. Here's the French embassy again. This area near Belvedere Palace has lots of the embassies to Austria. This is the embassy of Brazil, which I was able to get into thanks to my local friend. I don't think they wanted me to show this, so I didn't take video, but there are remains from a World War II bomb shelter with sealed doors inside. The April 1945 siege and battle to pry Vienna from the Nazis involved fierce street-to-street fighting across the city and its suburbs. Obviously, buildings throughout the city were heavily damaged, both by air raid bombings, courtesy of the United States, then during street fighting by the Soviets, and this building still bears the scars of that battle. While most war damage has been replaced, this facade was specifically preserved to show the fierce fighting between the Nazis and Soviets. That says wounds of memory. Alright, moving on. There's the Secession, the radical and unusual structure built to house exhibitions of the Vienna Secession, which thankfully survived Nazi occupation. Unfortunately, I did not have time to go inside and see Klimt's Beethoven frieze. I have made it to the Naschmarkt, the most important marketplace of Vienna. The Naschmarkt started out as a milk market just outside the city walls in the 1770s. It was declared in 1793 that any fruit or vegetables not brought into Vienna along the Danube had to be traded at this market, so it became quite popular. It evolved into a more traditional marketplace from there, and these pavilions were built in the early 20th century atop the Vienna River, which flows underground here. There is a huge variety of food stands and even restaurants now. I like the sign featuring Adam and Eve in Versatile Paradise, Sausage Paradise. I am going to eat at Urbanek, which has some great hand-drawn signs out front. This is a deli that was visited by Anthony Bourdain on his only visit to Vienna. I went with some friends and shared some absolutely fantastic platters of beef and pork. The meats at this place are so delicious, and the plates look really good too. This platter of pork is freaking glorious. The cheeses were also really good, though one of them was a bit intense. So I would highly recommend Urbanek if you visit the Naschmarkt, though be aware that most stands only have limited hours. At this point, just about everything is closed up. There's also a random chapel at the Naschmarkt. There's the Medallion and Mahalika houses, unique and highly decorated apartment buildings just across from the Naschmarkt, designed by none other than Otto Wagner.
You got the big ass balconies above and below, and you got an individual balcony.
And this is the Kettenbrückengasse U-Bahn station designed by Otto Wagner, which serves the Naschmarkt. I think it's great that Vienna preserves and still uses most of the original Wagner stations. And I have gotten off the U-Bahn at a similar Wagner station. That's an old fire station. So I hope you enjoyed this look at some maybe lesser known Vienna landmarks. If you did, then please consider checking out my other Vienna videos featuring major museums and attractions, as well as some off the beaten path sites. Also take a look at my plethora of other videos across Europe and America. Additionally, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel to get notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching!